Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, Head Currency Analyst. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Forex market outlook. I'm going to highlight a couple of different things and we're going to start off with the strength and weakness table, which is really interesting again this week. We actually saw a continuation of the New Zealand dollar strength, which is interesting to see as we do still have a commitment to trader signal. Last week we were looking for a little bit more upside to this market before seeing the downside, and we've got some more developments on that today. We also have the US dollar heading into the extreme oversold condition, which is typical of this time of year, and we're looking for buyers to step back in more in the new year than this week in particular. But those are the two things that I'm really going to focus on. I like the idea of the dollar weakness continuing until the end of the year, and there's a few levels on the majors at the moment which I just want to take a quick look at. Now, Euro US dollar is approaching this cluster of buying and selling. That was this consolidation pattern. We were talking about this in the week, suggesting that, you know, this is typically where institutions do business in the market. When you see these long consolidations, the market typically does or what it typically means is the institutions are building big orders here. Markets moved away from that, so I'm expecting the market to travel back to that point and go to sort of the most traded areas of that consolidation zone, find resistance and move away from that. So there's one or two things we can do this week. We can either sit in our hands because it is a low liquidity week, wait for the market to head towards that 123.3008. If we see a weekly rejection of this level, we expect some downside to come. If you are going to look to trade this week, then the key support for me is going to be around about 121.59, and what I'll be looking for is if price gets into this area through here where we can see the market has found resistance, support recently. If price happens to get back down into this area around about 121.59, I'll be looking to buy from this area up into 123.30. Okay, so euro dollar, nice level to look for those buyers to step back into the market. Kiwi dollar is definitely the one to watch going into the end of the year and the start of next year, just because again we have multiple different confluences. Now we have a cluster up here or a consolidation pattern through here where the market again was traded lots through that point. The market subsequently moved down from this level, which means essentially when price comes and retests the sort of most traded level, I'll expect a little bit of reaction from that point. So 0.7223 is going to be the level that I'm going to be watching for a pullback. Obviously then this zone in here would become an area of interest to me. If price falls, the most traded area in this level would be the one I'd be targeting for some potential continuation of the trend. But essentially what I'm expecting is some short-term dollar weakness, price to head towards this level, reject in the new year and potentially move down from the back of that. Again, that means that we can potentially look for some short-term long opportunities going into this week until we hit that key level. Once again, a very popular area on Kiwi US dollar was this 0.7086 area where we have some resistance, some support through here, like so. So if price does happen to hit this 0.7086 level this week, I'll be looking for potential long opportunities up towards 7223. Obviously, if price takes off before that and it hits that level, I won't be looking for buys at that point. But we do also have a commitment to trader signal, and we're still looking to push the extremes on that. So I'm looking for a little bit more upside to this market. Key level on pound this week is going to be 134.96, probably the most traded level of last week. We can see all the interaction through this area here. Market found support, resistance, support at this point, support, a little bit of resistance and support most recently. So if trade talks continue at a point of there could be a Brexit deal, I expect a retest, looking for longs. If price breaks through, looking for shorts around this 134.96 area. Aussie US dollar was something we looked at last week because the weekly time frame was making higher highs and the RSI was making lower highs. So I'm expecting the market to continue to push a little bit higher just from that dollar weakness perspective. Again, we can look for a short-term pullback, but the major resistance point is going to be that 0.7671. Again, just highlighting to you that in this period of time, it's been tested multiple different times, always having good reactions from that area. And if I go to the hourly time frame, the support is going to be down at this 0.75655 area because we have, again, lots of interaction in and around this level with support and resistance. If price ends up back here, I'll be looking to go long towards that key resistance level, which sits at 7671. Dollar CAD was also something of interest for us last week, and this is almost like the first sign that we are seeing a bit of dollar strength. CAD is obviously weaker at this point. That's why we're getting this consolidation pattern. The resistance for me, if price does start heading to the upside, I was looking at a previous point around about 1.3143, or I was looking at sort of the previous around about 1.3 level. All I'm looking for now is actually up into this 1.3143 area is a really good level on the chart. You can see just looking left, huge level of interest and support from that point. Going into the hourly time frame, looking for the potential for this market. Now we are obviously in a little bit of a range, and that's why sort of the level that I've pointed out, 1.2750, has featured as support this week because the market has obviously entered this range. It keeps coming to the middle of the range, reacting from it, keeps coming to this point. So I think if we are going to see a breakout, we may see one more retest of 127.50. If we were to get the breakout at that point, I'd expect the market to start pushing to the upside. But this could be sort of the first major currency pair that really drives higher towards that key resistance level. So keep these in mind when looking at your markets this week. Mark down those key levels. Hope they helped. Have a great week this week, and I'll speak to you soon.